Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Double G here. This is episode 34 in the series we're doing on the Elm Creek map. And we've progressed into October, so I'll go feed the dog. There you go. And he comes running. In the last episode we were still in August, and I harvested the oats that I couldn't get to in field 54. Sorry, forgot my field numbers. I harvested the oats in field 54, and then I progressed into September, and then I may or may not have let the chickens run out of food. So I filled up the silo at the chicken coop, and then I sold all the sugar and honey, and that got me around $50,000, and I used that money to buy a hayloft, and I put it in the corner of field 51. So if we just run just over to here, you can see it. It's in the corner. It shouldn't interfere with harvesting the trees, hopefully, fingers crossed if I'm lucky. And then I rented a forage wagon and I picked up all the straw from all the fields. The hayloft will only hold 250,000 liters, packed it full, and I sold the rest that was left over for around $7,000. And while I was picking up the straw, I had a worker subsoil field 54. But if you take a look, field 54 has big rocks, and a lot of them. So you can see there's small, medium, and large. Field 54. I'm going to have to get the rock picker for that. But I also need to lime and subsoil these fields. And I'll bet good money, one if not all of them will have rocks in them. So I want to get these prepped so that when I do get the rock picker, I can do them all. So in the next episode, I'll probably be rock picking everything that's available, as well as planting grass in 54. For the time being, I'll leave 48, 49 as grass until 54 gets established. And I also need to take down the trees either in November or December to make room to move the sheep over here. And then I can plow all this up as one field that is something else. That's not grass, because we'll have all of 54. So that's the game plan for today. We're going to put lime in 45, 46, 47, and 50 and get them subsoiled so we can see what we have for rocks. Also, before I started recording, I picked up a potato contract in field 72. So that's going to take a good bit of time. I will probably, after I get the lime down, I'll have a worker do the subsoiling. And then I'll work on this contract with another worker, but I'll probably have to jump back and forth to move the Massey Ferguson around with the subsoiler. So that's the way we're going to attack it today. If after all of that we still have time left in the episode, I may rock pick, but we'll just have to see how many rocks there are and how much time's left over, so we can get moving on that. So what I want to do is get the too far John Deere. There's a deer. I'll get the John Deere and I'll go pick up the spreader. I need to offload the fertilizer that's in it. And I have some lime. Can't quite remember, maybe it's around 2,500 liters. But I'll use up what I have first, and then most likely be going to buy some more to do all 4 fields, because this spreader, and I think all spreaders in general, burn through the lime. The consumption rate on the lime is pretty quick, pretty high. So I'll just pull forward over here and I will offload the fertilizer. Well, we had quite a bit of fertilizer. And then, oh, wrong way. I have to pull the subsoiler out to get to the lime. Let's see, how much do I have? That's 749 liters, and that's 2,000. So 2750. But I need to get here to get the spreader close enough to it to load. Not a problem. We'll just park this. Sure, why not? We'll park it here for now. Conveniently in the way. But we can get, oh, wrong button. We can get around it. And that's one of the reasons I went with this spreader, because it can do fertilizer and lime, on top of the fact that it's pretty maneuverable. Some of the spreaders will only do fertilizer. This one does both. All right, and we'll fill this up. Looks like it took the 700 liters first, and come on. So we'll use this kind of as a gauge to see how far this gets us, to know how much more we're going to have to buy. But I'm reasonably confident it will not be enough for all of it. And if I remember correctly, we should be able to get these two fields in a single pass at the widest setting. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, looks like it. Getting the right, getting the left. Stay in the middle. Oh, I have a little piece that I missed, but that's okay. We can come back through and catch it. No problem. Still looking good. Yep. Oh. Definitely be checking the map when we get done, just to make sure we have everything. And looks like those corners are good. Map, and there's a little strip over here. I can double back and get it. I could also get this strip covered, which is in the middle of the grass field. That's the part that I had plowed up to join the two fields together. See if I can eyeball this little mist strip. Not that it's really going to make that big of a difference, but there it is, just here, and got it. Okie doke. So now we'll drive around the tractor that I left directly in the way, and we should be able to get this one in 2 passes. So, yep, I think that's probably about right for the left-hand side. We'll see. Maybe not quite. Easy to fix. Then with any luck, we should be able to get this in 1 pass. Yeah. If it lasts all the way to the end of the row, am I going to get lucky? Or I'm going to be just short? Oh, I'm just short. Okay. So, in terms of percentage, that was easily half. So I say another 3,000 liters. Now I'll go ahead and get 4. Fill it up. I'd hate to be, just a bit shy. And since it can hold 4,000 liters, I'll go ahead and get that. Now, I did borrow the items, obviously, for the potato contract because I don't have a potato harvester. So that equipment is already at the farm shop. So once we get the subsoiler going. And the nice part is, field 72, you can see on the map, the contract's in field 72 and the sell point is at Feed and Grain South, which is basically 6 o'clock on the map. So it's not a super long haul to sell the product either. Potato contracts and sugar beet contracts tend to have a lot of trips in them just because of the quantities. I mean, that's a reasonably sized trailer, but it's still going to take quite a few loads. I want to say that trailer is 20,000 liters. I could be wrong. So we need lime. And lucky for us, the lime is the cheap one. So we'll buy 4,000. I'm sorry. Wait, did I just buy? Oh, I forgot. The lime is in bigger bags. Okay, well, we just bought 8,000 liters. We'll only be able to fill up 2 bags, and we'll have 2 bags that we have to take back to the farm at some point. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting that lime is in 2,000 liter bags, whereas fertilizer is only in 1,000 liter bags. Not the end of the world, though. At least it's cheap. So we should be able to get 2 full bags of this. Yep, and with 2 left over. Well, we definitely have enough lime. That we don't have to worry about. Ooh, didn't want to turn for a second. Alright, so we have the little piece in field 47 and then field 50 that we need to lime, plus the strip in between 48 and 49. So I'll go this way. I think this is just almost too much weight in the spreader for this tractor. That's why I'm having the steering issues. But the sugar beet crop's looking good, and it's good to go. It's been fertilized, sprayed for weeds, the whole 9. I'm seriously considering putting cotton in the rest of the available fields for this go round because of the need to feed the spinnery. Let's take a look at the map here. Okay, this is going to be pretty much overkill, but we've already determined I have more lime than I need. And I don't know with this crop in it if it's actually going to get rid of the line. We shall soon find out. Let's see what that did. Nothing. Must not be able to lime with the crop in the field. Guess that was a pretty expensive lesson to figure out, but alright. Get this finished off. And I did miss this corner down here. That's good. And I want to say this field is about 2.5 passes. So my little grass field experiment there may have cost me another trip to the store, but it is what it is sometimes. Alright, we're good on the left hand side. And what I'll do is I'll go down this side, come back up the right hand side, and then we'll see what we have left in the middle. Alright, I want to say that took about 30%. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. about here. At least it's a very narrow strip down the middle. I should be able to narrow up the spread significantly to take care of that. And I'm still overshooting quite a bit to the left. I could have potentially done this in 2 passes. And that's done. So we'll take this down to the narrowest. And maybe it'll get us through there. 9%. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. It's going to be close. Looks like it may be just enough. Well, I'm going to call that good. There's one little strip there, and normally I would not let that stand, but I'm not driving all the way back to the store for, about 3 square feet. So we will load this back up with the fertilizer just to get it picked up and out of the way. And then we can get the subsoiler going and get into the potato contract. We'll do the majority of it in a time lapse, and it'll be a long time lapse. Alright, that's loaded. And get this put away. The Massey Ferguson should not have any issue doing the subsoiling. Guess we'll start with the biggest field first, and my bet is that I'm probably going to have rocks in at least 2 out of the 4 fields. That's my guess. What say you? Yeah, rocks. We got rocks. But we knew it was going to be that way. So we can go check out the potato harvest equipment. Alright. Got the big Grimmy potato harvester. Pretty good size Massey Ferguson. And like I said, I think that the Pro Tube is a 20,000 liter. So what I'll do is I'll get this down to the field. Which way am I trying to go? Yes. It is the field directly across the street from the big Leroy Wilson baling contract that I've done a couple times. And I'll be honest with you, it was available. It was available as a hay contract. I'm not going to do it. So this contract pays somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. I have absolutely no use for potatoes. I think the only thing I could really do with potatoes on the farm is feed it to pigs, which I don't have yet. Oh, I'll have them. So, we'll turn in the contract and then we'll sell the excess and just try and get a little more money in the bank. So that'll be good. The only downside to doing potato and sugar beet harvesting and contracts and everything is the fact that the header is super small and the speed of the machine is relatively slow. But you do get a high yield. And at least with the sugar beets, if you turn them into a product, if you turn them into sugar, they make some pretty good money. And then you can also use that sugar and other things that make you even more money. So I know that's stating the obvious. All right. Bit of a hill. Oh, it's because it's next to the train track. Yeah, hopefully the train's not coming. According to the map, it's not coming. So I'm just going to turn around here. And I will unfold the machine. A marvel of engineering. Look at that. Can you imagine how much it takes engineering wise to design a machine like this? So let's see, we'll lower it, we'll turn it on. Oh, that was the wrong button. We'll turn it on. And I'll go ahead and do a loop around the outside, or at least attempt to. And then I'll go pick up the trailer. So I have a feeling it's going to fill up relatively quickly. Doesn't look too bad. So I'll loop this around back to the top, then I'll let the worker go while I go get the trailer. But I'll do this in a time lapse, and we'll see how far we can get. It'll probably be a good, a good lengthy time lapse, but we really don't want to sit here and watch me harvest potatoes real time. So I'll see you guys when we're done, or at least when we've got a big chunk of the contract done. guys. So we've got the potato harvest about 50% done. I think I've actually delivered, 42% of the crop to the sell point. So we're going to let this get turned around. It might have enough to fill it up. I'm not sure. It's only done one pass, so we'll get what we can so that the harvester can keep going. I think I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice on a potentially longer episode, and we're going to rock pick. So once I get the harvester unloaded this time, I'll go get the John Deere, lease the rock picker. AI worker H is blocked by an object. We'll sort that out as well. It says it's blocked. It may be up against, it's probably up against the sheep shed. So I have to clear that out. I was contemplating whether or not to do a couple rows near the sheep shed, but I didn't. So we'll just get this unloaded. Yeah, this is going to fill it up. That'll be alright though. This trailer does hold 22,000. And that's it. Okay, so that's full. Alright, we'll pull this over to the side. Let's go back and get the subsoiler sorted out. So, yeah, it doesn't like going close to the sheep shed. Not to worry. I believe I had this issue last time I tried to do it with the worker. Looks like this field does not have rocks. So, might be getting lucky on the front 3 fields. I'll just do 2 passes here, set it off again, see if that buys us enough space. If not, we can take it further up the field. Oh, of course. I think that may give it enough room. I don't think it's so much the turning around as much as the fact that the subsoiler's behind the tractor, so it can't get to the end. I think the AI will sort out the turning around. Those trees are starting to look very near ready to cut. Alright, so we'll let this guy go and see if it gives us any more trouble. I'll get the John Deere and go get the rock picker and get it set off in field 54 first. Gotta drop that off. I keep telling myself the next time I go lease the rock picker and I have enough money to buy it, I'm going to do it. But guess what? 14,000 is not going to do it. I don't think I want to try to seed field 54 in this episode. It's just going to take too long. The seeder is very slow. I can plant grass all the way into November. If I don't get it in next month, I have to wait, I want to say, until March or April to plant grass. It's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to get it done. I'm trying to think of what else we have in November. There's selling the eggs. If I'm lucky, the trees will be ready to cut. But I just don't know yet. I would like to sell the eggs in November and cut the trees if they're ready to be cut. And then in December, I have all that straw I can sell. So oh, I got busy talking and tried to drive off the end of the map. So it happened, and big red X's didn't even faze me. I want to know in the comments if anybody was actually yelling at me there saying, "You're missing the vehicle shop." But yeah, we've got eggs next month. Straw. Could short sell the lettuce. Really the kicker for next month is if the trees are ready or not. Alright. And rock picker. This is probably the one tool that I feel the most guilty about leasing because you use it so much. And I lease it every time. So let's lease this. Plus it'd be a heck of a lot more convenient if I weren't staring down daily leasing fees. I could just rock pick whenever I felt like it. Guess I could have checked the used market there. Wouldn't that stink if it was, well, even at 50% off, I wouldn't have had the money to buy it. I've got to get better about checking that. Alright, so we'll get this set off in field 54. I am going to create a rock pile, probably at the bottom door of the barn because I really don't ever store anything in there. And we'll just accumulate the rocks and load them up when we have, you know, a trailer load as opposed to making a trip every time this thing fills up. And I don't think the worker should have too many issues here. It looks like the subsoiler is still going and it's had time to get blocked if it were going to. Alright, let's see if we can get a little bit better alignment on this. And it may miss a spot or two, but we can always fix that later. Alright, so this should go until it fills up. And it's not filling up super quick. Alright, back to the potatoes. Alright, so I'll continue to bounce around. I'll have to keep the potato harvester emptied out and going, the rock picker unloaded, and the subsoiler. And we'll do another time lapse and we can get some progress made. And I'll check back in with you in a little while and we'll see where we're at. So we got the potato contract finished. The last load that I delivered completed the contract, and I actually got $2,500 in sold potatoes. This may be another 25 to maybe 5,000. I'm not really sure. And then we can turn in the contract, which should give us about 10. So we'll be doing okay for money. Maybe 25, 2,700. I'm sorry, 27,000. I did move the rock picker. It looks like it may be full again, but we can handle that just as soon as we close this out. And then the subsoiler is almost finished with the third field, and I might have gotten lucky on those front 3 fields with not having rocks, so that'll be good if that's the case. So let's see what our total for sold is here. Not bad, 4639 plus almost 2,600 last time. And then if we go turn in the contract, it was 11,650. It'll be 11,246, should be, after they take out for the equipment. 11,165. So that's awesome. Get back up here. Lost my farm. Yeah, it looks like they've stopped and they're still going. So we'll go get this emptied. This should be the last time I have to empty it, assuming there's no rocks in the last field. So, and I'm just stacking the rocks in front of the lower barn door. Seemed as good a place as any to put them. And eventually I'll load those up into the trailer and take them to the debris crusher, but it would just make this a lot more time consuming if I were going to the debris crusher every time it got full. Trying to keep it reasonably neat. Seems like things like the short, the equipment, how do I want to put this? The equipment that has a shorter distance between the hitch and the axle seems the toughest to back up. But I think that's true in real life. Wouldn't know, don't really haul that much stuff. Should not have to empty this again until we're done. So I'm really hoping that the trees are ready in November. That would be nice. I definitely would like to plant grass in 54 next episode, even if we have to do some of it off screen. So next episode should be, well, it will definitely be in November. If the trees are ready, then we can cut grass, place a silage pit. That will happen no matter what. Planting grass will also happen. If the trees are ready, we can start on that job. But if not, I may finish planting the grass off camera, progress into December when the trees should almost definitely be ready to cut. I think the game plan for that is to cut them all down at once using a tree harvester, so it'll cut them, delimb them, and cut them to length. And then when I sell the straw and the lettuce, I'm hoping that I'll have enough money to buy a front loader and a log trailer. so that we won't be absolutely required to sell everything all at once. We can kind of sell as we have time. Because I think to try and sell all the trees at once would, A, it would take forever, and B, it would just get monotonous as all get out. I don't think the price for wood fluctuates. Does it? Let's look at that really quick. Wrong screen. Wood. Oh, it does fluctuate quite a bit. Okay. So we may have to sell in the better months like March, August, October, December, February, and lay off on the super low months. So June, July, September, November, January. I think I said January for high month. I meant December. Oh, but the price swing is only, no, it's the same price pretty much all the time. The price swing is $39 per 1,000 liters. So we can pretty much sell it at any time. So yeah, if I can buy a front loader, I could theoretically buy a log grabber attachment for this front loader on the tractor. This thing's too small. I need a bigger wheel loader, I think. Or I could get brave and I may lease, that could be it. I may lease the trailer that has the grabber claw on it. I'm not sure what the technical name is for that. And if that works out, then I could buy that. If not, I think it would be a wheel loader and a log trailer separately. And a wheel loader could come in handy. For instance, picking up the rocks or cleaning up the silage, loading the silage when we go to sell it. So I could also do both of those jobs with the conveyor belt. We'll just play around with it, but I may lease a piece of equipment to try it out. And if it works out for me, then buy it. Because I'd hate to put $100,000 into something and it's just not something that I have the skill to use. I feel pretty confident that I could get by with a wheel loader and a log trailer. It might not be pretty, but I'd get it done, which is pretty much the motto of me here on Elm Creek. It might not be pretty, but eventually we'll get it done. So it looks like I did get lucky. There's no rocks in 45, 46, or 47. I'm not sure the last time these fields had rocks, if ever. I don't know if it's glitched in the game, but I seem to remember not having ever picked rocks in these fields. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and look through the episodes. Solid 6 months we've been doing Elm Creek. And probably 4 months we've been on the French map in the time-lapse series. So I really feel like we're starting to make some progress. Get some things going in both series, building up to some productions. I look at all the productions in terms of kind of primary and secondary. I'm not sure if that's a common... Oh, yep, got it. I'm not sure if that's a common way of thinking of for everybody that plays Farm Sim, but like the sugar, the wood, the flour, they're all primary. And then you've got the secondary productions that use the products from the primary production. So just trying to build it up. Some of them get really complex. Like the bakery needs 4 or 5 different products that you make with other productions. So it's a build up. I really don't know how long I'm going to keep either of these series going. Not to the point of like total map domination, but I would like to get some good money rolling in. We'll let it keep going around episode 50, maybe episode 100. Who knows how far they'll go. At some point I'll have to stop and take stock of what's realistic and pick an end point for both of them. But I don't see that insight for either one of these series yet. I feel like there's still plenty left to do in both. Definitely need to get bigger equipment. There is a subsoiler, I think it's about twice the width of this one, which would be nice. I did see a subsoiler, it's not even a mod, it's in the base game, that will subsoil and fertilize at the same time, so that's kind of cool. And it's bigger. But apparently it will spread the fertilizer as it subsoils, which is kind of nice. And get some direct planters so we're not cultivating and planting in 2 steps, it'll all be in one. Looks like the rock picker has finished. Definitely want to buy that. It's an efficient tool. It's got a good working width. This isn't too bad for these small fields. We only have a couple more passes left, so get this finished up and put away and empty out the rock picker and get it returned, and that's probably going to do it for this one. I typically have a rough idea of how long the episode's going. I do run a timer, but in this series with the mixed, real time and time lapse, it's kind of a little more difficult to calculate on the fly. So yeah, definitely got some busy months coming up, some selling, a lot of work. I am really digging the idea of putting cotton in these fields. I think I can plant that in March. So the only real time crunch to get these prepped was in trying to do all the rock picking that was necessary at once without having to lease it multiple times. But since we're almost done, we're going to go ahead and get it finished off. We managed to make it through on money. Eggs are next month. Straw the month after that, plus the trees coming, so we're in good shape. We have enough to lease the equipment to do what we need to do. I probably could have already had this done. I did miss it the first time I came back to this side. I think it was already done at that point. And let's get this. And when I came back to empty the rock picker the second time, I want to say, or maybe it was the first time, it was already done with what it was doing. So not a huge issue. Now, the only thing that is outstanding at the moment is the fact that I have 2 bags of lime at the store, but we'll have plenty of opportunity to go get that picked up. Don't think we've sold any of the eggs or lettuce early this year. I could be wrong. So we should have pretty good sales numbers on those. Let's drop that. Go ahead and put this away. And double check the map. Got a couple little, I'll go down there and grab those on the way back over. But even though it misses, like there's that, I'm not super concerned about it. I'm not driving over 54 to get that one little spot. But I will grab this one since it's closer. I'm not sure in which of these little areas it was in, so we'll just run through all of them. But the worker did a reasonably good job. Can't complain too much for the fact that I really didn't have to. I think that was it right there. Can't complain too much considering the fact that I really didn't have to do it. This grass is getting tall too. I think it'll be a better yield. I do believe to an extent, once the grass is ready to harvest, you'll get, some grass. But if you wait another month or two, I think it's a better yield. I haven't read or found anything that confirms that. It just seems to be the case. But that will be our first batch of grass that goes into a silage pit. Getting a little better. Not much, but a little. I want to try and keep it neat so that it's easier to pick up when it go to sell it. Mind you, it's not going to be a lot of money in any case. I think a whole trailer might pay $6,000, but you never know when you need that money. Too close. Does not. Oh, wait. There it goes. I think I was hitting Shift I instead of Control I. You can just kind of fill up that little area. It's out of the way. This tractor is also getting low on fuel, so that's going to be something that I need to handle in the next few episodes. Luckily, the gas station is directly across the street. I have one time ever I think I had put a tractor on a worker in a field and forgot about it, and it was already low on gas, and it just ran out. And I was like, I don't know what to do, and I had to go lease a trailer that would hold. It was such a pain. Try not to do that anymore. Although I do recall seeing a trailer that acted as a workshop and, mobile fuel supply, so that could be cool. I'm not sure if that was in 19 or in 22, but I'll take a look and see. So all in all, pretty productive this episode. We're up to 28,000. Should not be a problem, I hope, in leasing the tree harvester. Actually, now that I think about it, that may be an issue. But I will have the eggs to sell, so. Just for giggles, we can take a look while we're in here returning this. So first things first, get that returned. And then in tree technology, I would like to forestry machines. There you go. So this, ooh, do we have enough? Yeah, 22,000. We have 28. So we would have the money. And then as I said, they have some of these, like this Komatsu right here. It's log trailer with the grabber on it. I think that would be worth leasing to see if I can make it work. If not, we could always go with, I don't want to tie up too much time on the store here, but I want to say, is it also under forestry here? Forestry equipment. There's this trailer, because we already have the semi. And then we could get the smaller wheel loader, like back up here. Like this. And that should be able to handle maybe that one. Depends on how much money we get for the straw. So I'll either go big log trailer and a front loader or a wheel loader, or I could try something like the Komatsu truck that has the ability to pick up the logs. So get this back over to the farm. can see the trees from here. That's great. We may have to do that again. Takes a while. It's 2 years, but I think we're going to find that the profit's worth it. It'll be more than we could have made in any other field in 2 years, I think, except maybe the sugar beets. But even the sugar beets, one field equaled 160,000. So I think the trees will do way better than that. At least I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they're able to finance the big cow shed, which is, or at least get us most of the way there, because that thing's $750,000. But it'd be so nice to have. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks everybody for watching. Until next time, take care.